Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. As you can see, today we have the long-lost AHA brother. Stephen Michael is here with us today, and we're going to be addressing the elephant in the room. We are going to be talking about where Stephen has been. I know that you all have been blowing me up about Stephen's whereabouts, how he's doing. Like, seriously, like, the community loves you, but I wanted to get you back on. I wanted to do this video, answer everybody's questions, and, like, once again, address the elephant in the room. So strap in, y'all. We about to make magic. We're missing a piece of the puzzle. You start getting healthy and you just become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual. All right, Steve. So welcome back to the show. It has been a very long time.
Yeah, it's been probably a year and 9 months, almost 2 years.
Okay, because I know we did a live stream together. I feel like that was maybe about a year and a half ago. But I can tell you one thing. You have not been on camera with me since Chris James became a published author. Yeah, that's right. Shameless plug. My book is out, y'all. Metamorphosis, A Journey to Holistic Wellness. Go grab your copy. It is available in shipping right now.
Shameless plug, off the rip, automatically, right in the beginning. I guess just put it in there, you know.
It's in there, and now it's out the way. Link will be in the description box.
It probably won't be the last time that happens, but...
All right. So, Steve, you've been gone for nearly 2 years now. And as we mentioned earlier, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Obviously, you're not the same size that you were the last time you were on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you know, we need to figure out what happened, because one of the questions that I get often is, does fasting work, and will I gain all the weight back? So let's go back just briefly, talk about when you started weight-wise, and maybe a date or a time frame, and then where you are now weight-wise and the date, and then we will discuss what happened in between.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, what was that? February of
2017?
17?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
February 2017. That sounds about right. So in February 2017, the first video that we did was very similar to this. We were sitting side by side. We were having a conversation. I was a much different person. I actually just recently went back and watched that video, and I was, I can't even believe, even now, I can't even believe who I was then. But that person is gone, regardless. He's not here. So at that time, I think when we recorded that video, I was around, weight-wise, I was around, I think 355, 352, right in that area.
Right. Yeah.
So that is in February 2017, give or take. I'm not really good with dates, but that's where I was at. So now...
Well, okay, hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
So I just thought of something. So you were at 355-ish.
Yeah.
You got down to...
my lowest was, it was literally 213, like 0.2. It's like,
got to get them ounces.
Yeah, I need them ounces. It's like 213.
Right. Okay, so, and that was 18?
No. I think it was, yeah, because I'd gone through a whole year at one point. So it was somewhere in 18.
Some early 18, maybe, somewhere around that.
Early mid 18.
Because I know you had there was some personal issues that, you know, came up, and you kind of backslid for a little while because of that.
Right.
But I don't remember. So we'll just put it around early 18. Y'all can actually watch the videos, and that's the beautiful thing about Steve's journey. Everything has been captured, so you can go and verify everything. So he got down to 213. So now fast forward another almost 3 years, 2.5 years.
Right, to where we are now from the beginning.
Okay.
So fast forward from all the way from the beginning to kind of where we are now. Weight-wise, I'm at 292, and we're October 10th?
Yeah, October 10th, 2020.
2020. So there's the timeline. That is where everything was at. And yeah.
Okay. So you gained roughly about 80 more pounds. And now you maintained it. As we look at the timeline, you actually maintained, you were in a losing phase for a year plus,
Mm-hmm.
and then you maintained it for a period of time, and then you slowly started to put the weight back on. And we talked about that in one of the videos, some of the personal things that you had gone through. But you had caught yourself. You didn't really allow yourself to slip.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's this gap. It's been maybe probably at least a year, maybe a year and a half, where we haven't really seen you, haven't really heard from you. And the first question that I want to ask is, have you been gone because you gained weight? Like, did fasting not work for you? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the question everybody asks.
Is that what they're asking?
People ask, like, I guess.
Is that what they think I'm going?
Not you specifically, but in general, people want to know, does fasting work and can you maintain it? We've been preaching that you can, but.
All right. So to clear that rumor, myth, whatever you want to call it, to clear that up, 100% fasting works. And I didn't gain my weight simply because I just stopped fasting. There was a lot of factors that went into that, and a lot of them were simply just out of my control. And those are some of those things we'll touch on, and I guess we'll kind of see how this roller coaster goes, because this could be a really emotional video for me. But no, I have not been gone necessarily by choice. I have not been gone because I'm hiding. I have not been gone because fasting didn't work for me. Trust me, if you go back and you look at that first video and even bring it forward now, you will still see that that person is not here anymore.
Right.
Even though I put on a little bit of weight, we're gonna knock this out. But trust me, it has worked, and it has changed me tremendously.
Okay. So one of the things, and we're just gonna get right into it. In February of 2019,
Okay.
I had an event planned.
What in February? May.
May?
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, May 17th or something, May 15th or something. I had an event planned, and you were supposed to be at that event.
Uh-huh.
And something happened, and you couldn't attend.
That's correct.
What happened?
So we're just gonna get right into it. Man, I gotta go back a little bit. So anyone that has followed my journey, so I call them the OGs, right? So these are the people that the originals. They've been around. They've been following the channel for a while. They've been following my story. Anyone that has been around for a while knows that I've had a very interesting journey. And anyone knows that I have had times where I've kind of disappeared or things have happened. I lost my best friend. He committed suicide, and it was very devastating to me, and it has affected me a lot. And I thought that I was kind of over it, but I wasn't. So I have always talked about my demons, so to speak, right? So these are things that have been in my personal closet. The one thing that I wanted to do with my journey was to be as open and honest as possible, and to just show you guys that, not just me, but Chris is a real human. You know, I'm a real human, and we're real human doing real human things. I have emotions. I have positives. I don't like saying the word negative, but you know,
Positives and neutrals.
Positives and neutrals, right? So even with a neutral experience, you can learn a lot from it. So basically, what happened is that during my time where I was going through a lot emotionally with the loss of my friend, I got into some trouble, got into some legal trouble, and had to go away for a little bit. So, needless to say, I was not able to attend the event because during that time I was gone. So it was a rough time that I was going through, and obviously during that time, so even when the event started to be promoted, I think it was November 2018, something like that. November 2018, things started to get promoted, and then fast forward, obviously the event was in May 2019. So for that 7-8 months, I kind of disappeared, and life was really beating me up because I had this impending doom coming down the road, right? So the one thing that I learned is that, stress, anxiety will cause us to obviously eat the wrong way. You can eat the right way, but if you're stressed out, you're going to gain weight. It's just, I don't know, I don't know. But so not making excuses, but just, telling my side.
Right.
So obviously for the next 8 months, I was stressed, and I'm going to be honest. I wasn't fasting. I wasn't doing the right things because I was very concerned about what was about to happen in May. So the reason that I was not at the conference was simply because I literally was not able to come. So that's what happened there.
Okay. So, it sounds like you were dealing with quite a deep depression, which I think is relatable. Most people have experienced that. Many people have experienced it, myself included. And just like any normal human being, it affected you heavily.
Right.
And also, I know that it was compound interest. There was several things in your life during that period of time that probably would have exacerbated the situation. But essentially, you stopped making good decisions.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, it's not that fasting didn't work. It's not that fasting doesn't work. It's not that you've destroyed your metabolism or ruined your organs. It's literally the fact that the choices changed.
Yeah, that is exactly correct. So it has absolutely nothing to do with my metabolism or anything of that nature. To be honest with you, I feel great. Even though obviously weight wise I've gained weight, but I feel good. I don't feel, sluggish or anything like that. And if I keep saying this, but I think it's important. If you go back and you look at that old person, you're going to see that I'm still a different person. I'm still that Stephen that was at 213. Just, there's a little thing that changed, which is the weight. But to be honest, from my experiences and what I did go through, I'm glad I went through it because it changed my life on a whole nother level. Another level.
Right.
So yeah, it has nothing to do with fasting not working. I mean, just like any kind of, I won't say diet, but any type of lifestyle change. If you change your lifestyle and you say, hey, I'm going to eat, I don't know, low carb, and I'm going to eat fruitarian, or I'm going to eat vegan, low carb vegan, however, whatever, and you start working out and you start hitting the gym and you lose all this weight, you do all the right things and you're living a healthy, great life, right? If you go into a situation where you fall into, as you like to say, which I can't really disagree with, a depression, and you literally just go back to doing the same things you were doing to get to where you were previously, where you were unhealthy and and not eating well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to gain weight, right? So it has nothing to do with fasting not working or anything of that nature. It has everything to do with the choices that I was making at the time. And the one thing about me, and the one thing that I know that you like to say is, you like to say, Stephen, you love eating humble pie. And and the first time you said that, I was like, man, this dude's a jerk. Like, what do you mean I like eating humble pie? But what that means is that if I make a mistake or if I'm wrong, I take responsibility for it. If I say something and I'm like, you know what, I'm wrong, I take responsibility for that. So I'm not blaming anybody for anything that happened to me. I made those choices. They were choices that I well and knowingly knew were incorrect, but there were deeper seated things that were happening that were basically making me make those choices, which are all me. But there's things that happen inside of us that drive our decision making, and a lot of times they're not the most conscious of things. So that's what was happening, and I obviously didn't know it. But that's how I got to where I am now, by starting to understand those different things and start to understand how we can be driven in certain ways by unconscious emotions.
Yeah, and you know, the subconscious mind it's very active. I think that word subconscious throws us off. Like, I know for me, before I really started understanding it and learning more about it, it's like subconscious. It's really just playing in the background. It doesn't really hold much weight.
It doesn't do anything.
It's not really doing anything.
It's just there.
You know, like you can brainwash people with subconscious imagery and stuff, but you know, you have weird dreams because your subconscious picks up on a whole bunch of stuff and jumbles it together. Nah, that is not what the subconscious is.
No.
The subconscious rules your world like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
So oftentimes we will do, say, react, express things and not be conscious of it because our subconscious rules us that much. And then, of course, you don't know because you're only conscious of what you do, that 10 or 5%. And so that's why it's important to have good people around you, because they can help you learn about yourself. And really the journey of, you know, healing is going to start with identifying those programs that are running in your subconscious, because that's who's controlling you most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
You're 100% correct. And there's a lot of information that's out there, and there is a lot of information that people give, and they don't really have this conversation. And this is the type of conversation that you're going to hear from me a lot more. Well, I mean, obviously I'm back, so you guys are going to start seeing me. But trust me, I've been working, and these are the type of things that you're going to hear, you know, from me and Chris. But it is starting to understand how we're being driven. Who is the person or the thing or the subconscious? Who is that's controlling the meat suit, right? The meat suit is our body. It's really, you know, it's just our body. Without getting, well, I don't want to get too spiritual on y'all, you know, too energetic, because I'll do that. But the meat suit is simply just this, right? If you close your mouth and you talk inside of yourself, there's a voice, right? That voice is not the meat suit. It's something else. So part of that controls everything that you do, everything that you feel, and it drives you to do certain things. And if you don't have control over how you think or how you're feeling, then it's just going to drive you to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, like going to Taco Bell at 2:00 in the morning and getting a 12-pack of tacos and smashing them, and then wake up and you feel trash and you feel like, why did I do that? It'll make you do those things. So I'm sure there's people out there that can understand that If you want to be honest with yourself, you don't have to, but I'll be honest with you. If there's things that happen that will drive us to do those things, and we have to learn how to control those. And when we do, when we can start to pinpoint what those things are, we can start to learn how to take control over them, and then recognize them, identify them. And when we can identify them, then now we can take a little bit of control back. So that's what I've been working on.
Step one is, always identifying and coming face to face with that problem. And I feel like we walk through life oftentimes and we're like, no, we're good. Everybody's good. We're good. I'm good. Da, 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 da. I mean, we have our little problems here and there, but it's nothing crazy, right? No, we all are in a society where there are people who have engineered programming to cause us to have all sorts of issues, cravings, addictions, etc. Right? Like, so if you watch TV, if you read the news, if you go to school, you are being subjected to this. None of us are all right. None of us are okay. We all need to work on these things. And one of the things, especially about your experience, your journey so far, is, for me, especially early on, I was like, man, fasting is this amazing tool that can help you identify issues that you didn't even know you had. And with the amount of fasting that you were doing, because I would probably say out of everybody, you were probably doing the most long fasts consistently.
Yeah.
Than anybody else that I was, monitoring or in close proximity to. And with you still having to deal with these deep-seated issues and traumas, it helped me to understand there's so much more to it.
It's deep, man. It's deep. And I thought that for a long time, I thought that fasting was it was okay. So I thought that fasting was going to heal all of my problems. I thought it was this was the magic pill. This was I thought that, okay, how do you fix your life? How do you just fix everything? Fasting, right? And there's more than that. It is. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong now.
Don't misquote them now.
Don't misquote me now. It's a powerful tool. And without it, you listening? Without fasting, I would not have got to where I'm at now. And the understanding that I do have now, I was able to gain the clarity and understand what I was going through when I decided to make a decision to understand and accept what I was going through. And a lot of that, being honest and being open, a lot of that I gained through fasting, through detoxing a lot of emotions, through detoxing a lot of bad and negative experiences, and detoxing people. So fasting does a lot. And it got me to the point where I was even open to start to realize that I have other deep-seated issues. So what did I do? I took out the shovel, right? And that's what I like to call when I like to call it when I start digging. And if you, I'm not gonna get in, I'm not gonna give away some other stuff right now, but eventually you'll have an opportunity to speak with me and Chris a little more, and we're gonna take the shovel out. And what the shovel does is it's going to, well, let's think about what a shovel does, right? So a shovel is designed to break through that top layer of soil, of dirt, or whatever is going through. It's designed, it's shaped, it has a head on it, which is pointing, and it's designed to break through that top layer. And that top layer is usually hard, right? You think about dirt that's been sitting, they have it's compacted. There's been snow, there's been sleet, it's years, it has been untouched. It's hard. So you take the shovel out, and fasting is like the shovel. It goes in and it breaks the ground up. And then you take that first dirty, dry bit of dirt up, right? And you're like, okay, now what do we have under here? And then under there you have dirt. And it's gonna be a different color. if it's dirt. Now, if you're doing it through sand or something, it's different. But you're gonna have a little different color. There's gonna be different textures. Underneath that dirt, you're gonna have bugs. You're gonna have little worms. You follow me here? So you're gonna have all of this stuff in that dirt, and now you have a whole nother, I'll say, monster to deal with. Not monster, because that sounds very grave, but a whole nother set of situations to now deal with. So for me, I'll say this. Fasting was, like I said, my shovel. Can you get to those things? Can you get to that dirt underneath without fasting? Sure. I mean, if you want to take a pencil and you want to use a pencil to try to get through that dirt, do it. If you want to take a fork, you can do it. But fasting is the shovel. It is the backhoe that goes in and it lifts up. It does the heavy lifting up front. And then after you do that, then you can come through and now you can be open and receptive and you can start to acknowledge some of the things that you have going on in yourself that you may been in denial about for a long time. So,
or may not even have realized,
realize it was there.
You take that topsoil off, and you didn't even know what was going on underneath there. And so now you've got this whole new situation that you got to learn about. You have to really explore, and then you have to find solutions for how you can cultivate that land and turn it into something that could produce a plant or a flower that will eventually give you fruit.
Yeah.
So it's such a process. It's such an elaborate process. And I'm actually very thankful for your journey, because you add a layer of experience that we may not have gotten otherwise.
Yeah.
Certainly that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Your experience is very unique, and all of ours are unique. But our goal here is to share a little bit of the insight, because like Steve mentioned earlier, we're not perfect, we're humans. And that was the point of the channel, is to show you all that we're just like you. We make mistakes, we have ups and downs. And if we can do it, you can do it. That's kind of the thing. And then so in the, in the spirit of transparency, we continue to have these types of talks. So you've experienced a lot. You've grown tremendously. I mean, just me seeing it myself. And fortunately, now you're here in Texas with us. That's why we're able to do this.
Whoa, hold on a second. Where am I at? Oh, wait. Well, yeah, I'm just here. I mean, I'm here visiting.
Yeah, you're visiting. Long-term visiting.
Not joking. No, I obviously, guys, I moved here. So I've been, as you guys know, I've been trying to get to Texas, and just through events and things that happen, I finally was able to get here. So
almost forced. And this goes back to that power of manifestation. I had a run maybe about a month or so ago where I was talking about the power of manifestation, like every other video. And
that's deep.
What we got to realize about manifesting is when you seriously put intentions out there, you better be ready for what comes your way, because that energy that you put out is a boomerang.
Right. I didn't. You just, when you said that, and I'm just thinking about everything that's, going on and happened, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. The fact that I could have, how everything happened to me, all the neutral things that happened to me that basically allowed me to get here. That's crazy to even think that I created that. But I did.
Yeah.
But I did. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
And so I'm gonna just share something, just to kind of get it out here. So I want to be fairly clear. And so basically the biggest reason, rewind. So the biggest reason that I gained the weight that I did, it wasn't just simply from eating not good stuff, right? Because I still had some discipline, I still had some willpower, I still was making not always the best choices, but I wasn't being ridiculous with my choices. And through events, I ended up being incarcerated, and I was there for quite a while, much longer than I probably would have ever imagined in my life. But during that time, basically, I just ate trash. I didn't have any choice. You know, you just eat trash, and all the food that is provided is, they call it nutrient dense, and but it's literally just trash. So people that want to, let's think of bodybuilders, right? They go to the gym, they want to work out. Let's say you're skinny, you want to work out, you want to get muscles, you want to, gain weight, you want to whatever. What do? They eat, they take protein shakes. The protein powder has, you make one shake, you mix it up, you put a, mixer ball in it, you throw it back, boom, right? It's got 3,000 calories in the shake in and of itself. On top of that, what? Yeah. Oh, you ain't had a protein shake in a while.
You know my own.
3,000 calories in a protein shake, okay? Whey protein. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all out there. All right. So on top of that, then of course you're gonna eat, right? Now think, we're eating, we're not talking about healthy, we're talking about people that are just trying to gain weight. So they're gonna eat their chicken breast. They're gonna eat their, they're gonna eat all the stuff that the health and food industry is gonna tell you gotta eat to gain healthy weight, right? So that's what they're gonna do. And of course, over time, guess what's going to happen? They're going to gain weight.
Yeah.
So basically what was happening is I was being fed extremely nutrient-dense food, and I literally had no choice but to gain weight. Now, during that time, I did do fasting. I actually was well over 300 pounds, actually. But then before my time, I actually started fasting, which was actually extremely difficult, which probably may be I don't know if that's a whole nother conversation. Didn't Gandhi fasted while he was in prison?
Yeah, I think he did hunger fasts if I'm not hunger strikes.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
I mean, he's not eating. So,
right.
I mean, obviously the action is the same, but the intention is different.
Right.
That was really difficult. But the really cool thing is that I was actually able to get a couple of people to do it with me.
Wow.
Yep. So even so, during that time, I was still teaching and growing, and I got a couple people to do it with me. So that is the reason. That is like, when if you want to get straight to the point, let's cut to the chase. That is the reason. And I before with this video, I was like, you know what? How much do I want to share? How much of my personal life do I want to share? And then something just said, who cares, dude? Like, don't get me wrong. It's emotional. And I'm sitting here trying not to get emotional. I'm actually holding back tears right now.
Holding back the tears.
Yeah, they're right here. It was a rough time, but I grew so much from that. Just thinking about the the issues that I had, the issues that I dealt with alcohol, dealing with issues with my own personal self-confidence, dealing with issues of being able to even talk to girls. It was rough, and the one thing that I benefited from that whole situation was I was able to dig into myself. I had a lot of time, and during that time, I used it wisely. I read books. I was in counseling. I was in therapy. They knew me from, they knew my whole life story, my backstory. They knew me up and down, left and right. I mean, I completely took advantage of the benefits that were offered, and I call them benefits because they were. It literally changed me in a positive way. So at that point, I had, I was able to stop drinking. So I don't drink anymore. And as you all know, that alcohol is a depressant. And the crazy thing about alcohol is that when you're depressed, you want something to make you feel better, right? Alcohol made me, in my head, feel better, made me somehow feel better, but it's still a depressant. So over time, it weighs down on you. And what would happen is that I would be depressed, or I'd be having my issues, and then I would drink. And as I drank, my issues got worse. But then at the same time, I'm like, dang, they're getting worse. But at the same time, though, you know what? Somewhere in that sick mindset, I said, you know what? I need to drink more because I'm depressed, right? So it became a vicious cycle, and it got to the point where I said to myself, after everything happened, I said, I need help. And during that time, I sought it, and I was able to come leaps and bounds ahead by, number one, accepting some of those, so accepting how I felt, and not blaming so I could sit here and I could blame the loss of my friend, and most people out there will be like, man, I get it, I understand it, you're good, Steven. You know what I mean? I could use that as a crutch, and I'd probably be okay, and people would accept that. But let's be honest, if we're going to blame things on other people, if we're not going to take responsibility for our own faults, how can we change? How can we grow? If I say, okay, well, somebody punched me in the face while I was walking down the street, right? And people are going to say, if you give them that just bit of information, people are going to say, wow, that dude is a jerk. That dude is blah, 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 blah. Like, he punched you in the face. That's crazy, right? But what if I told you that I had a sign on my chest that said, someone punched me in the face, right? So he punched me in the face, but hey, it hurt. I'm upset now. Like, it hurt me. Why did you punch me in the face? Well, I got to take responsibility. I don't even know if this is a good analogy, but I got to take responsibility and be like, hey, I had a sign on my chest to punch me in the face. So he did it. So who's to blame? Right. So it's simply just taking responsibility for the things that I did. And that's hard. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me, guys.
Take a breath, man.
Take a deep breath. That's hard, man. Taking responsibility for, the things that you've done, speaking to people, after you've wronged them, is difficult, and it's tough. But if you can take the steps, and if you can learn from your actions, and if you can learn from the things that you've done, and you can move forward, then you can grow. But but it all boils down to, number one, acceptance, which is accepting where you're at, your situation, what happened. And then after you learn to accept it and say, okay, this is it. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at in life. Then at that point, you don't have to identify anything yet. You just accept it. This is where I'm at. Then at that point, you can start to identify different issues. Where am I at? Why am I here? How did I get here? Okay. We start to identify these different things. After we then start to identify them, at that point, then we can start to work on a plan to start working on them.
Right.
And those are kind of the steps that I began to take to better myself. And that kind of leads into the conversation of the man or the being driving the meat suit, which is emotions. So that now that is, once again, that's going to be a lot that's going to be talked about. But at the end of the day, our emotions drive us so much to a point where we have no idea what's happening. We're in the driver or in the passenger seat going for a ride, and we think we're driving, but we're not. The person that's driving is your emotions. And when you realize that, when you say, wow, I'm not in the driver's seat, right? You're not in the driver's seat, and the person driving is your emotions, right? and not only that, follow me here. The car or the vehicle is the meat suit, right? So where's your control at? What do you have? So what do you have control over? I don't know. I'm not trying to give away the juice. Am I giving away the juice?
No,
I'm not giving away the juice, but where's your control at, right? We always want to have control over life. We want to have control over the things that happen to us. We think that we control other people. We think that we control things around us. We don't control anything. We can't control ourselves. We're in a meat suit that's being driven by our emotions that we can't even understand. So when things happen, you can't even, you're just like, okay, we just got an accident. We're on the ground. This neutral thing happened to us, and we don't even know how we got here. But at the end of the day, we're the one responsible for it. So the question is, how do we get to the point where maybe we can take a little control back, or maybe we can influence these certain things, right? Because the meat suit is the meat suit. We can't do anything about it. We're here, right? But how can you take a little bit of that? Not taking control back. I'm not saying you want to take control, but how can you start to understand the driver? How can you start to influence that situation? How can you start to see how they perceive things, see how the driver is perceiving things, and then maybe you can give a little better direction, right? If you go back, for some of you folks that are a little bit, I won't say older, but I'm 34, people that before GPS, right?
Yeah.
So before GPS, we had MapQuest. MapQuest, right? I know. So we had MapQuest. So MapQuest, what we used to do, all right, we're going here, we're going there. You had to MapQuest it, you printed off the directions, and in this situation, I'm going to be the one with the directions, right? I'm going to be the one that says, this is where we want to go. But I'm not the driver, right? So the passenger is in charge of the directions. They're the one that's supposed to feed the direction to the driver so we can get there safely, right? So what's happening is we're going through life, and guess what? Me as the passenger, I didn't even print the directions. I don't even know where we're going, but I expect the driver to get me there. In the meat suit, it's just whatever. How does that even make sense? Like, are y'all following me?
It's wild.
I don't want to lose you. I'm the passenger, which I have no control over what's happening here, right? If you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I got control over my life, I want you to rewind the video a few minutes and then watch through again, right? Until I get to the point where I tell you, you don't have control over your life, okay? I want to be very clear. You think you do, but you're not in control. There's a driver, right? And until you accept that, then you continue to have no influence, right? Because that's the thing. You gotta learn to accept and you gotta learn to identify. And then and until you can accept that you don't have control, when you can accept that you're not the driver, then you're gonna have issues. But when you do, when you realize, okay, here's my role, here's my position. My position is not the vehicle. My position is not the driver. My position is the person in the passenger giving the directions, okay? So when I realize that's my position, then What do they say? I could play my part,
Right, right.
right? Now I have the directions and I could say, hey, pride is a driver right now. Pride is telling me I have control. Pride is telling me I can do the things that I want to do. Steven's wrong. Ego is now in the driver's seat. Ego is saying he's wrong. Ego is saying, you know what, Steven, I'm not gonna listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about. He gained weight back. He doesn't know anything. If that's how you want to feel, great. That's ego. He's in the driver's seat right now, right? You have all these emotions that keep popping in and out. They're jumping in the driver and they're jumping out. It's like the Chinese fire drill, except the passenger's not getting in the driver's seat, right? The emotions are the one driving. So as I'm talking to you, if you think about this. As I'm talking to you, you're feeling different things. Maybe you felt sympathy for me when I told you I was incarcerated. Maybe you felt depression when I told you I was depressed. Maybe you connected with me, right? Maybe you felt happiness when I told you that fasting really was the way, right? You have all these emotions that are happening, and guess what? They're happening on a subconscious level that you have absolutely no control over. And as you realize that you have no control over them, you will start to understand that these emotions are driving your feelings, your thoughts. They're driving your actions. There's going to be some people that are going to click off the video because their emotions have driven them in a certain direction. You did not consciously make that decision. You think you did, but your emotions did. Stay with me. When you can understand that and you really start to grasp that I am not in control, accept that fact, then you can start to influence. You can start to give better directions to the driver to then drive the meat suit, to then make positive choices and to go where you want to go. And that's what I've been working on. So understanding that, I then realized, you know what? My weight loss journey obviously is important, but understanding that fact is going to change my life. It's going to make just as big of an impact as I was when I was losing weight, right? Because I was losing weight and I still had depression. I still looked in the mirror and even at my smallest was like, and I'm still fat. Like, why do I feel that way? Right? I mean, you could look that up and people would say, well, you have, body dysmorphia, it's the thing that makes you think that you're not where you're at, right?
Right.
Okay, people always want to give a label because it's easy to accept, right? Oh, well, you have this, and that. It's easy to accept. Oh, well, I guess that's what it is, right? Because science told me that. Okay, if you want to think that, right? But what really is that? That's your emotions. That's really what they are, right? You have shame that is going to drive you to look in the mirror and say, you don't look good, right? Shame is going to then get in the driver's seat and say, well, I mean, you lost some weight, but you still don't look good. You're still not gonna get no girls. You know what I'm saying? You're divorced. You still, somebody don't love you. Right? These are the things that are gonna play in the back of your head. And guess what? They don't feel good. You don't like them, but you don't have any control over them, right? Because you're not the driver, right? We got to understand that. And when you start to understand that, and you can then after you understand that and you accept it, the next thing is now identification. When you can identify that and you can be like, hey, voice in the back of my head, that's shame. And guess what? I don't accept that, right? You can kick him out of the driver's seat and put someone back in. That's powerful. That is, I'm not going to use the word control, but that is influence. When you can begin to then identify who's in the driver's seat and say, hey, I don't want you here. Somebody else drive. You're tired. You're sleepy. We got a long journey ahead of us. Somebody else drive. When you can identify, then you can start to make changes and move some of the pieces around. And that's when you can start to influence certain things that happen in your life. And that is powerful. And that's where I've been at. And that's what I've been working on. And I'm now to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm rocking and rolling. I'm ready to go ahead and get back to where I was. And it's going to be a if y'all thought that I was feeling myself then, I'm just joking, but I'm not. I'm being honest. I mean, I was probably playing things off a little bit. I was showing a little bit of ego right there, you know, probably a little bit of sick pride, right? Because these are some of the words that you're going to start to hear, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. But these are some of the things that I identify. I'm joking, and I'm saying these things, but look, I'm literally doing it in live time, right? I'm identifying what those things were. And I say, I'm joking. I wasn't joking. I was serious. But that was sick pride. That was pride that's not healthy, right? Because there's sick pride and healthy pride. Not getting away the juice. But there's different ones. But that's what it was. But so do you see how quickly the driver changed in those situations? I exuded shame, I exuded sick pride, and then I exuded healthy pride, all within boop, 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 boop. Once again, rewind it, play it back forward, and watch how that happens. And then I'm serious, man.
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
But once again, when you can start to identify those things, you can be like, wow, that's crazy. When you start to be like, wow, why does this affect me? Why does this bother me? Why does the fact that, I don't know, somebody said something stupid and they didn't even say it to me, but it bothered me, right?
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook and I see somebody's post. It has nothing to do with me. I know it has nothing to do with me, but it bothers me. Why? Right? Why does it bother me? It has nothing to do with me. Why does this make me feel upset, right?
Right.
Why does the fact that somebody says something about a political head, we're going into the election. Why does the fact that someone says something positive or negative about, let's just use it, Trump or Biden, why does that bother me so much, right? What about myself do I not like? Or what about myself and my past experiences or my traumas bothers me, or is in me? Stirs up. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that bother me? What is it about me?
It's powerful.
And that's the thing. When you can take a step back, because these things are going to happen, these emotions are going to happen. It's not about stopping them. It's about recognizing and identifying them as soon as possible, right? And then start to influence them, right? And the last one I'm going to talk about is, let's say, anger. And there's a lot of angry people out there. And some people say, oh, you're just, angry, you got to blow off steam, da, da, da. And I'm not going to get into it a lot because anger is a huge, deep emotion. But anger is something that is exuded in a lot of different ways. It is shown for a lot of different reasons. Anger does not just necessarily mean I'm upset, right? Anger, I'm gonna give you guys a gem real quick. Anger, typically when we think of angry, we think of upset. I'm mad, you did something, you made me mad, rah, 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 right? That's when we think of anger, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, what if I told you that anger is actually, or can actually, and most of the time is actually shown as a defense mechanism? What if I told you that the reason that you get angry is because there's another emotion that's actually in the driver's seat, right? That's actually driving, but you actually look back behind him, right? You look back and there's anger back there. Anger is never the driver, right? Anger is a secondary emotion that never is a primary. Let me say that again. You have one emotion in the driver's seat. It's driving, right? But anger is back here, behind the driver. It's a secondary emotion that is never the driver, right? So when you're angry, you're angry for a couple of reasons. And you're not angry because, okay, if I drop my water bottle and my water bottle breaks, right? Nice water bottle, it's expensive. I love it. It's got power, it's powerful, it's got gems in it. There's a reason, da da da. We'll talk about that another time. Oh, Chris already talked about it. So, but if I drop this bottle, guess what's gonna happen? I'm probably gonna be angry. I'm gonna be upset, right? Dang, man, drop my bottle. So that's normal, right? Can we all agree? Shake your head through the camera. We can all agree. That's normal. Dang, be upset, right? But guess what? Let's break this down. Driver, passenger, rear driver, passenger.
Backseat driver.
Backseat driver, right? So anger's in the back seat. So I'm angry because, I dropped my bottle. But why did anger come into play? Who's the driver in this situation, right? What emotion am I feeling? Am I feeling hurt? Am I feeling sadness? Am I feeling, I won't say depression because depression is a really powerful emotion. So sadness, am I feeling, you can feel loss, right? We have finance that, there's a financial loss here now, right? So, man, I paid for that. That's money. It was expensive. I needed that, right? So these are the actual emotions. And sadness is probably the true one for me. It probably would be exuded. Man, I'm sad because my bottle broke. But what's going to show is anger. And what happens is that when we have emotions that arise, or we have situations that arise, and we don't deal with them, we don't acknowledge them, we don't express them, they just come and we just brush them off. We just almost like they never happened, right? We're told to, this is gonna be another conversation. We're told to man up and just get over it, right? We're not allowed to express how we feel, right? What happens is that just goes out the window, and it is what it is. We never deal with it. What that is doing is that it's taking that situation, and it's taking it, it's putting it in a ball, and you just throw it into the dirt pile. It just goes into the dirt pile, and it's never dealt with, and who knows when and if it will ever get dealt with, right? Who knows if you're ever going to take your shovel out and start to dig through, right?
Yeah.
Do you see how that can pile up? Little situations all day, every day, little things, they just pile up, and you never deal with them. This is called baggage, emotional baggage. We talk about it in relationships where people come into relationships with baggage. This is just emotional baggage that we deal with. So these are the things when you start to understand that, when you start to get that concept, then you can say, man, you know what? I'm not actually angry. Because when you're angry, you can then go to rage, right? So, people get upset, they get in fights, things happen. It's like, you see somebody get in a fight with somebody, and it's like, why did you do that? Why did you make that decision? Why couldn't you just walk away, right? Because the reason they couldn't walk away, they got in a fight, the reason they couldn't walk away is because there was a driver, right? And it wasn't anger that pushed them to get in that fight. So, man, disrespected me. You know what I'm saying? He disrespected me. I had to show him what's up, right? Let's be real. We know people like this. We're all adults. We understand these things happen. So you say, why couldn't you just walk away? I don't understand. Well, we have to then realize that anger is not the one that got them in this situation. Anger is not the one that got them in the fight.
Right.
What got them in the fight was probably pride, right? Their pride got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why did that? What about you do you not like about yourself that get you upset because someone stepped on your Nikes? You just got them fresh Air Force Ones and someone stepped on them. Now you got to fight them. What about yourself? What about that situation made you want to fight? What made you angry? What was the real emotion? Pride, right? Maybe that was it. I don't know. You got to ask yourself this. Ego, Ego said, you got to stay fresh. You spent money on that. You got to man up. You can't let him walk over you. What's that voice in your head saying? Now, of course, if you can't understand that these things are happening, oh, you have no control. You have no influence, right? Anger's doing everything at this point. The driver doesn't even have control at this point. The driver's out of control. So the meat suit is now boxing in the middle of the street, getting beat up. The driver doesn't have control. The meat suit is out of control. You're going to crash. The passenger sitting there yelling has no idea what's happening. And the person driving the whole thing is really angry in the back. So how do we get to the point where we can stop these things from happening? It's to accept that we don't have control. It's to learn to start to identify these situations and these emotions that are actually controlling everything that we do. And then at that point, we can have influence. And that is where I've been. That is what I've been working on and I've been learning. And that is it. I know it's a lie. It's a mouthful. I'm sorry I took over the whole interview.
Listen, for the sake of myself and others, we're going to shift gears because that was intense.
My bad.
Like, it says a lot about the war that you've been having. That's battle sturdy, or whatever it is, battle tested.
Battle tested. I mean,
yeah, that insight, because what you're saying is not foreign to me, but the depth at which you explained it shows you've been through that. That's experience, you know?
Yeah.
And I want to give people an opportunity to absorb that a little bit, because at the end of the day, we already have people rewatching videos 3, 4, 5 times, getting new stuff out of it. Even for someone like me, that was a lot to take in. So
I'm going to be honest, I'm not sorry. But at the same time, I mean, y'all ain't seen me in almost 2 years. And I don't like, and it really hurts me to know that some people thought that, you know, fasting just didn't work, and I just fell off, and you know, and it has not necessarily anything about me. Well, let's be honest, it does hurt. It hurt my pride a little bit. This is a very hard video for me to do because pride was in the driver's seat, and it said, you don't need to go out there and air all your dirty laundry. Who are they? They don't need to know. Well, you don't owe them anything. Pride said all that. So did ego. But then I said, you know what? I could take power away from you guys and just air it. And that's how you do it.
Yep.
You air it.
Yep.
And then nobody can say anything. Oh, you can say what you want. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But then what I would then challenge you to do is just then look inside of yourself and say, I mean, why are you so mad at him? What is it about me that I don't like, that I'm so mad at Steven for being honest and telling the truth? And he disappeared and he went away and he was gone and he learned and he grew. Like, what about me do I not like? That's what I would tell you to ask yourself. So, I mean, if you're one of those people, that's fine. I love you. But I hope that you at least take that little bit out of it to ask yourself that question.
Well, that's that's powerful stuff.
It's a lot, man. My bad, man. It's a lot. You know?
A lot. You know, and I'm glad you're not sorry. I'm certainly not sorry. This is not I'm literally just like, okay, let's let that marinate for a second. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I'm very, very excited for your growth and what you have to offer and bring to the channel, because I think that this is a very important piece we were missing. And, you know, as we move forward, the goal is always growing, learning more, being able to help more people, being able to resonate with more people. And for you to do this and put yourself out there like that, number one, is courageous, but also it's empowering.
Don't kill me in the comments, y'all.
It's AHA, man. You're gonna
Hey,
be
man,
straight.
you know, say,
You're gonna be straight.
You already know what I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna say it, but y'all already know what I'm gonna say. What about you? All right, I'm glad. That's it. I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Listen, we're gonna do more of this. I want to know what's in the works. What do you got going on? What are we going to be seeing in the future? What's up and coming?
Hey man, you know, there is so much happening right now. I can't even, it's hard to just slowly let the information drip out of the faucet. But you know, I don't want to give too much away too really too soon. But what's happening right now for me? Let's start with me, right? As you guys can see, I got on my Perspective Mobile Detailing shirt. You know what I mean? I'm about to hit you with a shameless plug. So obviously, I've been detailing for a while. You guys have known that. If you've seen me before, you know that I had doing some detailing. Well, it's full time now. I decided, you know what? I'm in full time, 100%. This is what I'm doing, and it's building, it's growing, and it's going well. So that has been my overall. That's what I've been doing. For 50% of my time, 50% of my energy, I would say, has been going into that.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, PerspectiveMoblieDetailing.com, Instagram.com, Facebook.com, Perspective Mobile Detailing.
I didn't even have to ask. Most of the times I'd be like, so where can they find you, Steve? How can people get in touch?
Nah, I'm putting it out
Putting
there.
it out there.
So, yeah, and the interesting thing is that I actually had a client today that she actually knew me and Chris from the channel. And it was pretty cool to be able to meet somebody. We had a great conversation before I started working on her vehicle. Lovely spirit, lovely woman. And she, was just telling me about kind of her journey, how she was having some struggles. And, I gave her a little bit of information. And, through my business, I was able to connect with somebody on a different level.
Yeah.
So, she has my information. I told her, I said, reach out. You got a question or you want to know some strategies? I said, I'm here to help you. I got you. So it has not, obviously, the train has not stopped. Please don't think that. So that's kind of where 50% of my energy has been.
You know what's a good way to when you need that help, that support, that information. Right here, baby. I got it right here in my book. New author here, Metamorphosis: A Journey to Holistic Wellness. This is full of tons of information about fasting.
Got all kinds of information in there.
Essential oils and all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can just hit up Steve directly. He putting himself out there.
Listen. Okay.
Hit me up.
Yeah.
Send me a text.
Okay. Yeah. Hit me up. And we're going to talk about that too. Yeah. We're going to talk about how you can get in touch with me. I have, yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to talk about that. But so I would say 50% of all my energy has been working on that. As you guys can see, a couple of different things other than my weight gain. There's some differences here. I have a full beard now, right?
What?
So
how did you do that?
I mean, if you guys haven't seen, I got a full beard now. I was just telling you before, I couldn't grow a beard. I had nothing here. I had a little bit in here, but somehow all of a sudden I was able to grow a beard. Like literally, it didn't grow.
No, it didn't grow. I know.
It didn't grow. So instead of me trying to grow it, I just didn't. I just kept it cut. But then all of a sudden something happened. I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with fasting. Something happened and I was able to grow a full beard, right? Not only that, I got a little whippage going on, you know what I'm saying? A little
whip game.
You know what I'm saying? So as you guys know, anyone that does know, I always had my hair cut and I liked it cut. And I decided, you know what? Everybody else got dreads. I'm getting dreads too. Because hair is a very powerful thing.
Yep.
And the less you mess with it, the better it does.
The more benefit you get.
The more it does. So after I then acknowledged that I didn't really understand about hair, and then I identified how I could actually reap some extra benefits by growing my hair, I was then able to influence my life a little better by letting my hair just grow. You see how that works?
Mm-hmm. I see how you put that together.
You know, just a little tool for you guys, you know, and this, I'm just trying to help some lives, man. But anyway, so hair, my business. Obviously, you guys are going to see weight loss content. Right now, I have a program that's going on the Facebook group as well as the Facebook singles group. Also,
yeah, we got a Facebook singles group, AHA Singles.
Yeah, there's a Facebook singles group that's been around for a little while. So if you're single out there and you want to join in a healthy community for people that are single and they're trying to get healthy, we have a Facebook singles group as well. Right now, actually, we actually need more men. So guys, have you ever been to a party and at that party, you go in and you're like, bruh, it's nothing but dudes here. Like there's
sausage
party. There's like 2 girls and there's like 10 guys. It's not fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, can you just imagine going into the party and there's now 10 girls and you and your friend are the only 2 guys there, right? It's going to be a little bit better experience, right? You're going to have a little bit more fun. So right now, that's where we're kind of at. And so I'm doing this not necessarily because I want to, because, you know, maybe I want to try to hoard them for myself, but I'm doing this for some of the other females in the group. Men, if you're out there, join the singles group. It's a great place for people that are, you know, want to talk relationships as well as they want to work on health as well. So once again, so you guys are going to see a lot of weight loss content. I have a fast going on right now where we're doing a water and fruit fast for the whole month of October. So it's there's water fasting at one point, and then only time that you're eating and what you're eating during that point is fruit. And there's a reason for it. There's a rhyme and reason for it. And then in November, I have another fast that I'm creating. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm not sharing it just yet. There's going to be another one, which will be more intensive. So, of course, they're like stairs. So we're in October, we have this fast, which is all 30 days. And you're doing fasting and you're doing fruit, right? The next level, we're going to be doing fasting, but we're going to double it up a little bit, right? So we're going to double up the amount of fasting that's being done during that. I mean, there's still going to be technically the same amount of fasting, but actually it's going to be more intense. It'll be more intense, and there'll probably actually be a little more fasting, actually, the way it's going to work out. And then in December, that's when we're going 1-2 punch combo, knock it out. Because my goal is to get back down to 220 before the end of the
new year. Okay.
Before the new year. So I already knew you were going to ask me what my goal was. You always do at the end of the video. So I took your juice. So the goal is to be 220 before the end of the year. Right now, like I said, about 290, something like that, 70 pounds to go. So if you don't think I can do it, then place your bets here because you're going to lose your money. So,
all right. So that's actually going to, so I'm going to steal some steam from you because you done took all the steam.
Took all the juice.
All of it. Literally, I'm just trying to get that last drop. But it's okay because you know what? My ego's not too big.
That's good.
I don't have one of them crazy pride drivers. It's okay. I can share the spotlight a little bit. I'm all right with sitting back.
I see what you did there. I see you identified that. That's good.
Yeah. So but here's what I'm gonna do though.
Okay.
You've been putting together these programs. You have this plan in place where you're going to literally in real time, people are going to get the chance, because the first time you lost all this weight and everything, it was behind the scenes. Nobody knew, like you weren't Stephen Michael yet. Like
he about to steal my steam.
So this time around, you're putting the programs out and things like that. And I hear you hinting at this and that and constantly talking to people and stuff. It sounds like you got something bubbling, man.
He about to steal my steam.
It sounds like you got a little something bubbling. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity because I want to get this aired out right now. What's up with all these programs and packets and plans and information that you putting out, all this juice you've been squeezing on us in this video?
Man, I wasn't even sure if this was the video for
This
this,
the video.
or if I was going to do this.
Just the video.
I guess so I took all the juice. So I guess Chris got to come with a left-handed hook and drop this in, make me tell it. So we're gonna talk about what
yes.
we doing. Okay,
yes.
so through my experience, I decided, you know what, this needs to be shared, right? There was something that we did in the Healthy Alternative Singles group. We put together a fun little game, right? Can I talk a little bit? We put together a fun little game, and in the game was, you get a digital virtual husband or wife, virtual spouse, and we paired people up. And when they were paired up, they had the ability to work together. They had to text each other, call each other, talk, FaceTime, whatever. And their job was to lose weight. However you did it, whatever you wanted to do, you lose weight. And then there was a winner at the end, right? Very simple. We had 42 people that had initially signed up, and we didn't push it very hard. It was just kind of a soft little lunch. We just wanted to play a game.
Right.
So we had 42 people that originally signed up. And at the end of the week, I gathered some very interesting data. So I realized that out of all the 42 people, out of all the people that had originally joined, only 11 people actually reported their weight at the end. Not only did only 11 people report their weight, I reached out, me and the admin team, we reached out to people and they ignored us, right, to report their weight. And if I can just jump back into this just real quick, obviously they were feeling shame because they didn't want to then show, I didn't do it, or I didn't lose weight, or I gained weight, right? It was an emotion that drove their decisions, and they ignored us. Isn't that crazy how that happens? It's very cool. Anyway, so through that information, I realized, wow, we have a really hard time with follow through. We are really good, right? And I say we as a family, right? Or I could say we as in the health industry in general, as human beings, we have a problem with follow through. We don't want to follow through, right? So people say, well, did this work? Did that work? It does. If you consistently do it every day, if you make the small decisions every day, little by little, step by step, consistently, you will then have results. So I realized, wow, people just fell off, and the people that fell off obviously didn't lose weight. The people that didn't fall off and they stayed vigilant, they did lose weight. What was the thing that helped them? So I asked people, so what helped you? How did you lose your weight? What was good for you? And their answer was support. They had somebody that was there to help them, right? So I said, you know what, Chris? We got to do a little better job. I want to do a better job. I have all this knowledge and information. I want to support some people, right? And we started to put together our collective knowledge and information, and we developed a program. And that program is a I keep using this term, it's a 1-2 punch combo. And not only is the program designed for people to lose weight, that's not necessarily the goal, right? If you want to lose weight, there's something else, right? But this program is a little different, right? This program is not what do they say? There's a soda out there. It's like not your grandpa's root beer or something. This ain't your grandpa's normal health program, right? So what we're going to go over in this program, what we're going to teach is we're going to teach about emotions. We're going to talk about the things that are stopping you from being able to be consistent, right? Because that's the problem. The problem isn't that you can't fast, or the problem is that you can't, do OMAD or do intermittent fasting. That's not the problem. You can do that. Everyone can do that. Most people watching this video have probably done it a little bit. You can do that. The problem is doing it consistently. So why can't you do it? That's That's what we want to get down to the bottom of.
Mm.
And I got the secret. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to start teaching. That's that's a part of it, right?
That's a part of it.
That's a part of it. But inside of that as well, we're going to teach you the tools. We're going to bring you the mechanics. We're going to bring you the know-how, the knowledge, the information. And this is going to be for people that want something long term, right?
Yep.
So you say, Steve, who's this program for? Right? Ask me who it's for.
Steve.
Huh? Yeah, what's up?
Who's this program for?
Hey, you know what, Chris? That's a great question. I want to tell you who the program is for, right? Actually, before I tell you who it's for, let me tell you who it's not for. So if you are sitting in your seat and you're like, this sounds good. I want to lose like 30 pounds this month. I got a wedding coming up. Guess what? This program is not for you. What? I'm telling you, I don't want you to sign up for this program. Matter of fact, if you tell me that, there's a qualification process. We're going to ask you to reapply at a later date, right? So this program is not for someone who's trying to just lose 20, 30 pounds because they have an event coming up, right? This is not the program for you, right? This program is not for the person who has, how can I say this? If you're the type of person that you just are lackadaisical and you're kind of in and out and you're like, hey, I would love to lose some weight, but not really. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of iffy about it.
Testing the waters.
Let me see if this is going to work for me. This program, listen clearly, is not for you, right? So those are kind of the things that we're going to be looking for, right? So who's the program for? So the program is for the person. I'm going to look you right in the eyes. The program is for the person that has been struggling, that has not been able to have success, that has been saying, you know what? I want to live a healthier lifestyle. I want to live my life in a better, healthier way so I can live longer, right? So I cannot have all these pains. I cannot have all these ailments, right? Who want to change their life over the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. If you are sitting there and you are saying, that's what I want, Stephen, guess what? This program is for you. This is going to be catered to changing your life for the long term. It's not going to be fun, straight up, because guess what's coming? Me, Chris, and the shovel.
The shovel.
And guess what? When you sat here and saw me getting a little emotional, right? You may get a little emotional when the shovel starts digging, right? But if that's what you want, if that's what you realize that you need, well, guess what? This program's for you. So we're gonna get a little more information about it. Get a little more, tell them a little more, or time frame, or maybe not yet.
I just wanted to, with you, talk about the program and just put the energy out there. Like Steve mentioned, there's going to be a qualification process. This ain't going to be 500 people in this group. Okay. The point of this program is coaching. It is what you all have been blowing me up about for probably 2 years now. And it's not been that I don't want to do it. It's that I needed to be in a place where I could give the energy to give you what you need, because there's a lot of people who call themselves wellness coaches. But in order to really coach someone, they need your time resource. And for the most part, I've been building AHA, the brand, and doing my best to disseminate information that can help those along the way who are strong enough or in a position to take it and run with it. But now we're backtracking, and we're going to get all those individuals who have been struggling. You've been consistently at it and not getting the results and the success you need or want. And we're going to, like Steve said, break that topsoil and start to get to some of the core root problems. And that takes time, energy, and attention to detail. And so now that Steve is here,
Detail.
right, and he's got his detail hat, his cap on.
Got my detail cap.
We're going to double team this. That's the 1-2 punch. You guys are going to get a little bit of me and a lot of bit of that. Let's just be honest. Steve's going to take over everything, and I'm just going to be backseat driving, looking like anger or something.
You're going to be no. You can't have that seat, because that seat, driver, backseat driver. You can't sit there. You're behind me.
Golly.
You have even less control and influence.
Right. But the reality is, this is going to be a transformational program. All right. So those of you who are serious, and we are being extremely, y'all know we're genuine people. We're not here to hype you up. There's going to be a qualification process.
That's legit.
Don't try to cheat or something. I'm a perceiver. If you're ready, come on through, sign up. And if you're not ready, that's okay.
It's okay.
Everybody's journey is different.
You're gonna have time. It won't just be one program.
No. We're going to continuously do this. So we're going to cycle this. And if you are the person who is looking for hey, I need to lose 30 pounds in a month, join the AHA Fasting Academy. I built a program specifically for you. It's called 30 Pounds in 30 Days.
See the plug right there? You see the plug?
That's ahafastingacademy.com. Join the fastingacademy.com. It's there. We already have that.
Hey man, it's cheap too.
It's inexpensive.
I'm sorry. It's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's inexpensive. I can't believe actually how you just about giving that thing away. $14.97. It's easy. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Get that information. It's nothing.
It's right there. And people people report, hey Chris, I lost 28 pounds, I lost 32 pounds, I lost 34 pounds. Those are the ones that do the work.
That's it.
Right?
Just do the work.
And inevitably, there's gonna be someone in the comment section, always happens. Oh, you guys, I liked you better when you didn't talk about programs and money and things you could use money. Okay. What emotion is that?
I don't know what emotion they're displaying, because it's not my emotion.
Let me do it again. When you were giving everything away for free, I liked it better, and now all of a sudden you want me to pay for stuff that I don't gotta necessarily pay for, but you asking it. You suggesting.
I don't know, man. It sounds like, once again, it's not my emotion, but it sounds like it could be a little mix of ego, because maybe they're feeling like, well, I don't really have the money, or they're calling me, or it could be pride. They're pulling my card. I don't want to spend $15. Why don't you spend $15? Well, because I'm not doing right with my money, and I'm ashamed that I'm not
spending all my money on food,
and I'm not eating right, so I don't have the extra money that I do have, right? You see how that goes down, and you start getting to the core of that. So what that emotion actually could be at the core is maybe shame, is what he could be feeling. Like I don't think that I'm sure people can grasp how frustrating that is. You're wasting my time, which, I'm sorry, I no longer find invaluable. I have a little pride in myself. I love who I am, and I now realize that my time is worth something. So, and all of you should think that same way. A lot of people don't, unfortunately, but it's okay. We can work with you. We can work on that. But your time is valuable, because really that's the only thing that we have is time. Yeah. Money is literally nothing. It's made up, right? The one thing that we're not getting any more of is time. Also, one more thing, if I can give a little something here. So as you guys know, I just gave my little list of my plan. I'm going to be on this for at minimum the next 3 months, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a goal. I'm rocking and rolling. There's a minimum. So some people out there, maybe you are that person that says, hey, you know what? I'm not ready for that program yet, but I could sure use a little one-on-one motivation. surely be able to pick up the phone and make a phone call or send a text to someone who's going to help me out, or I can ask a question to. So I have had people that would ask me, like, will you do this for me? And I have. I started a group. Well, the last time I did a 30-day fast, and it was me and 4 other guys, and we were all doing a 30-day fast together. 2 of them ended up dropping out in the first week. Another one lasted about 2 weeks, and then another guy made it about 2.5, 3 weeks with me. He was the one I talked to the most. So I realized that the more communication that I have with somebody, the better they succeed. So me personally, I'm going to be putting out this information at another time. If you want to go through this next 90-day process, not 90 days, I'm already rolling through it. But if you want to go through this, the rest of this process with me as well, then there'll be some information that comes out with that also. So.
And that's what I was going to say. It's the first time that they'll get an opportunity to walk this path with you in real time, because normally it happens behind the scenes, or it's something that happened way before you were a part of the group or whatever. And now you have the opportunity to get that support in real time while Steve's going through it. And he's going to be successful. That's not even a question.
That's not even a question.
It's just a matter of time putting in the work. So hopefully you all are ready to make some changes, and we're not waiting for the new year. We don't do that stuff. We don't do New Year's resolutions. We're starting in October, or we're starting in September, or we're starting whenever we started. But we start when we're ready, and we don't wait for a made up end of the year thing.
New Year's resolution. Well, I'm going to wait. I want to stop smoking, so I'm going to wait until New Year's. I'm going to give myself 3 more months to smoke up all these cigarettes. And then on New Year's, I'm going to quit.
No, it don't work like that.
What?
It don't work like that. If you're creating New Year's resolutions, you've already defeated yourself. So start now, right? You want to see these changes for the next year. Start now.
Man, let's get there before the new year, man. Let's get there so when you go visit your family, Christmas time and all that, let's get there before then. Let's sacrifice one of these holidays. Like you got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. They're 2 of the biggest holidays. Let's go ahead and just sacrifice Thanksgiving. Let's just say, you know what, Thanksgiving, I'm sorry. You're going to get sacrificed this year. But you know what? You're going to love yourself so much for it. So I don't know, man. It's up to y'all. I mean, if nobody jumps on it, then, whatever. But I'm talking about for me, my one-on-one. If you want to come with me, that's different. This other program, that's going to fill up 100%.
All right, y'all, we're wrapping this up. I'm not about to let him continue to talk more and more. Make sure to grab your copy of Metamorphosis, a holistic journey. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And we will see you all next time. Peace.